Hey guys, I'm Coach Michael BURT, the Super Coach. Every week I come into your life really to do three things: multiply your life, multiply your money, and multiply your business. And today's show, man, I know if you're tough-minded, you're going to love this, because here's what I said. Here's the topic of today's show: how to get your head up. Not only physically, but metaphorically. How to get your head up and how to stop whining. Today's show is going to be about how you take total ownership, how you decide on 5 levels of people, where you are, and at the end, I'm going to show you what a big-time monster producer does and how they get their head up, how they stop whining, and they don't make excuses. You're watching Super Coach, and I'm Coach Michael BURT.
Everybody needs a coach in life. Coaching businesses and entrepreneurs like you to spike an additional 40% to your bottom line. Michael BURT is a multi-championship coach, best-selling author, trainer, motivator, and all-around super coach. Now, from the Greatness Factory Studios, this is Super Coach.
Welcome back, Super Coach. Shout out today. Let me see who's shouting out today. I can shout out here on Super Coach. You know, you can download this podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Podcast Republic, Stitcher Radio, YouTube. Every week I come to you live. Let me give a shout out to some folks. Coach Lee Kentoff, Lee Barnes Kentoff. Hey, I know this show is right up your alley. No whining, no complaining, no making excuses. Phil Griffin, what's up? Candace Van Bieber, Amber Felt, Blake Duncan. Look at all them people. Amber Felt, Shane Ray, the Big Kahuna, Derek Godwin, the Monster Mogul, okay, period. Clayton Whitaker, what's up, big guy? Evan Stewart, Frankie Santiago. Let's see, Robert Hartline, what's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great day today. Guys, I'm here at the Greatness Factory. Just finished speaking to United Real Estate Company, and this morning we had monster teams, and I was telling my staff this morning that by human nature, I'm a tough-minded person. I think I was raised by a tough mom growing up. There was no whining, there's no complaining, there's no excuses. You get your butt up, you get started, you take action, and I think just over a number of years, that just is who I am. And I was telling my staff this morning that, you know, I have to work sometimes at being positive. It's not that I'm a negative person, but I'm just a hardcore person. And one of the things I tell people a lot is get your head up, smile, meet and greet people, and just get your mindset into a place of total ownership. And so when you're thinking about this, I really want you to think about this mindset of action. I look at people and I separate people out. You know, the Bible talks about separating the sheep and the goats. And what I see is I look at people and I go, they're one of 5 types of people. I'm going to get into the second segment. They're one of 5 types of people. They're a reactor, they're a struggler, they're a thinker, they're a floater, or they're a doer and achiever. And I'm going to unpack those. And you don't want to be in those first couple levels, the reactor, the struggler, the thinker. You don't want to be in one of those 3 levels, but a lot of people are in that level. So I got to get you today in a mindset of action. I got to get you in a mindset of we don't whine, we don't complain, we don't make excuses. I got to get you in a mindset of knowing that an object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. I got to get you to mindset of total action and total accountability and total ownership of your roles and responsibilities. Now, when you think about this, why would a person have their head down and whine every day? Because whining is a low value of your time. And I hear people, you know, they whine a lot. Like, well, I couldn't get them to call me back. Well, it wasn't a good time to call. Well, they weren't ready to commit. Well, I don't know, you know, timing's not right. What I hear a lot of people do is they have these built-in excuses, these considerations, these internal considerations that really prohibit a person from taking action. And it's all inside their own brain. It's all inside their own brain. So the concept of total action is when I come into a day, I understand that an object at rest will stay at rest unless acted by an outside force. I understand that this is a game of probability. For every 30 people I talk to, only 4.8 are going to be interested. So I got to increase the frequency. I got to increase the number of people I'm talking to. I have to increase the amount. And because there's so much opportunity in the world, God, there's so much opportunity. Like in my city, there's 269,000 people. There's 1.8 million people that live in Middle Tennessee. There's so much opportunity that we can't get to all of it. So during the day, we literally don't have time to whine, complain, make excuses. Now, when you meet big-time people, you ever taken one of your small problems to big-time people, and they almost don't acknowledge you, because they're like, man, you're so majoring in the minors. This is one thing my buddy Rick Inso used to say when we wrote the book, The Anatomy of Winning together. He said, man, we don't major in the minors. And I remember us going to the University of Tennessee, and Middle Tennessee State was playing Tennessee. And there was a lot of, noise and action and interaction. And I remember him telling his players, listen, it's 12 feet. The goal's 10 foot tall. The foul line's 12 feet, right? I mean, it's the same. We're not going to major in the minors. The ball still bounces like it does in Murfreesboro. We don't focus on little things. We don't whine throughout the day. We don't complain. We don't make excuses. Now, imagine instilling that in an office of real estate agents. Imagine instilling an office of mortgage originators. Imagine instilling it into a whole culture. And every time you catch that whining, you say, look, get your head up. There's no whining. There's no complaining. There's no excuses here. We're getting our head up. We're meeting and greeting people, and we're bringing some positive energy to the equation. I can't tell you how much you can win in the world, right? I can't tell you how much you can win in the world when you do that. Lee Barnes said this, they need to have a talk with themselves, and if that doesn't work, call me and I'll have a talk with them. That's exactly right. What's up, Jason Melton, Richard Pearl, Karen Jones, Terry Jolly? Here's the deal. Get your head up, stop whining, and take action. When you come back in segment number 2, I'm going to show you there's 5 levels of people. I wrote about this in my book, This Ain't No Practice Life. There's 5 levels of people, and you're only going to want to interact and associate with a certain type of person. I'm going to show you who those 5 levels are, Carrie Ann Sear and Dale Childress. And we come back in segment 2. You're watching Super Coach. I'm Coach Michael Burt. Get your head up and stop whining. Hey guys, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. Over the last 10 years, I've been coaching some of the top performers in the world. I'm going to show you how to follow up like a professional. I'm going to show you how to leverage your talents. I'm going to show you how to be compensated at the highest levels in the market. I'm going to show you how to work a selling system to attack every day to drive more leads than you can possibly handle. So if you've been looking for a good coach in your life, you need to go ahead and get your tickets now to the 8% Nation Tour. Welcome back to Super Coach. Every week I come into your life. I want to multiply you. That's what a good coach should do, multiply your life, money, and business. I want to thank sponsors of the show today, Dr. Hotze Health and Wellness, the general out there in Houston, Texas. I went to Hotze Health and Wellness for one reason. I wanted to find my superpowers. I wanted to get my body where it needed to be. I want to have energy in the afternoon. I want to have energy to go do the things I want to do because I want to tackle big things in the world. So if you're out there and you're thinking about doing big things, you got to call Doc Hotze, and you got to go to the Hotze Health and Wellness Center in Houston, Texas. You got to get clicking on every cylinder, man. Because here's what I love it. I'm tired. I don't have any energy. I want to lay in the bed. Okay, I just don't have any mojo. I don't have any confidence. Listen, these are all low energy thought processes. Listen, I think part of success is posture. And what I mean by posture is literally getting your head up, walking into a room like you're somebody, getting your chest up a little bit, not proud, not too proud, like prideful, but proud. And we don't whine, we don't complain, we don't make excuses. Now, I promised you in the second segment I was going to break down 5 types of people. I wrote about these probably 10 years ago in a book called This Ain't No Practice Life, one of my most popular books, and I said there's 5 levels. The number one level is what's called a reactor. The reactor is a person that does not like their lot in life, but they blame everybody else for where they are in their life. Okay? They are where they are today based on every decision they made up until today. They're constantly reactive. They go into the day like a turtle, not a cheetah. They're reactive to everything. They're taking shots versus creating shots. They're the puncher. They're the counter puncher versus the puncher. Constantly just reacting. Here's what a reactor would say. If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. They don't know how to create luck because they don't take enough action, right? Caleb Frierson, Blake Prowl, Jason Gardner, Jerry Pena. They don't take enough action to create. So the reactor is a person, man, just gets beat up every day, then blames everybody else for their lot in life. They never take responsibility. They never say this, I am where I am today based on every decision I made up until today. Nobody else has placed me here. If we could just find the person that placed us where we are today and kick them in the butt based on the decisions they made, well, that's us, okay? Second type of person is a struggler. A struggler is a person that's frustrated and intimidated. They think success is out there, but it's not for them. It's only for the lucky. It's only for the strong. They never could operate on a higher frequency or on a higher level. The struggler just struggles throughout the day. What do they spend a lot of time doing? Low-value activity, complaining, whining, making excuses, pointing fingers, reacting to the world. They're not in a mindset of attack. Okay, let's go back to our principles. There's power in taking action. An object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. The mindset of action versus the mindset of reactivity. The mindset of coming in and creating versus waiting on something to happen. Right, Blake Duncan? The mindset of coming in and producing and creating. Phone calls, emails, text message, videos, whatever we got to do. Second person is just a struggler, man. They're always struggling. You ask them how life's going, they're struggling. It's not going well. I'm on the wrong side of this. This is happening. This has happened to me. Something's constantly happening to them. They're not creating things that are happening to them. Things are happening to them. Third level of person is called a thinker. And a thinker is a person, it's exactly what it says. A thinker is a person that spends a lot of time talking and thinking and dreaming about one day what they're going to do. They don't take action, they think about taking action. You know, I was speaking in Chicago once and a woman came up to me and said, "Oh man, this is so good. You know what I'm fixing to do? I'm fixing to start thinking about getting better. I'm not going to get better. I'm going to think about getting better." So if you're this person, you're a thinker, you got dreams, but you never take action on them. Listen, if you're going to screw up big. Take big monster actions. Take actions Listen, and there's going to be opposition because your dreams are not big enough unless somebody's trying to take them away from you or keep you from getting them. It's just that simple. So the third level is the thinker. The fourth level is what's called a floater. Now, a floater jumps from idea to idea. They never stick on one idea. They never see something through to its logical conclusion. They're constantly just looking for the next big thing. A lot of get-rich-quick themes. I believe in mastery. I believe in long obedience in the same direction. I believe in 10,000 hours of practice. I do not believe in just trying something one time and giving up. Not going the distance. Well, the floater is a person that tries it, it don't work, so they just float. Imagine a monkey jumping from tree to tree in the jungle. They just jump from one thing to another thing. They never have the stick to see it through. Okay? And Robert Harline said, wannabes keep talking. That's exactly right. Wannabes talk about what they're going to do. Big time people do it, which brings me to the fifth level, the doers and achievers. Now, the doers are people that get out of thinking and into action. They take monster actions. They're doing, they're achieving, they're pushing, they're expanding, they're growing, they're calling on people, they're moving, they're thinking at a local, regional, super regional, national, international level. Their mind is not constricted by small thoughts or limited mindsets. They don't come to the equation with a negative mindset, closed off mindset. The doers and achievers come into every day and they say, man, I'm going to get my head up. And I'm not complaining, I'm not whining, I'm not making excuses. I am taking total ownership. Now, I'm going to end this segment on this concept, total ownership. Read the book, Jocko Willink, about extreme ownership. Here's the one thing I took away from that book. It don't matter if it's your fault or not, you need to take responsibility for it. You're making outbound phone calls, you can't get anybody on the phone. It's not their fault they're not taking your call or calling you back. It's your fault because you're not interesting enough. You got more interesting, they take your phone call. You're trying to get a meeting with the person, they won't take your phone calls, they won't take a meeting with you. You know what? It's your fault, not their fault. Total ownership says, I'm going to take total ownership. If a person is not purchasing your product or service, it's because you have done a poor job of explaining your product or service. It's not their fault they're not buying, it's your fault. Now, when some of you listen to this, you're like, what is he talking about? Come on, Coach BURT. If you don't line up with what I said there, you're in one of those first levels, thinker, reactor, floater. You're not operating. Reactor, struggler, thinker, floater. That's the category you're in, if that's what you're thinking. Right, Dave Stegg? If you're thinking, look, I'm going to take total ownership for my success and of my failure. Total ownership. If they don't take action, it's not their fault, it's my fault because I did a poor job explaining it. That is when you start getting to the highest level. You stop whining why people won't pay attention to you, and you learn how to go out and get attention. You stop whining about how you don't have enough revenue, and you start going out and producing revenue. You start whining because people won't take you to the next level or get you to the next level, and you start taking much bigger action, see? That's what we're talking about today, how to get your head up and how to stop whining. We come back in the final segment. I want to show you how to be a monster thinker. We're getting our head up. We're not whining. We're not complaining. We're not making excuses. We don't tolerate whining, complaining, making excuses. We're gonna reach in deep and grab what we need to go out there and get it done. I'm Coach Michael BURT. You're watching Super Coach. Guys, we've built a beautiful space called the Greatness Factory, and state-of-the-art, modern, industrial, cool, And we're opening that up for people to use that. You can work from the Greatness Factory. We have packages for you to come there every day and work in a nice, upbeat, positive environment. If I'm in town, I do a little sales meeting every morning. You're welcome to sit in on. Also, we're hosting events in the evenings. If you want to do a client appreciation event, special events, podcast, anything like that, come to the Greatness Factory. Check us out. Go to mygreatnessfactory.com. That's a big question. Can you take what you have and hardwire this level of intensity into another person? And the answer is probably no. Here would be a better way of doing this. Why don't you just align yourself with other people who have a similar engine as you versus trying to convince people that don't have an engine like you to get an engine like you? Does that make sense? See, when you're thinking about this concept of we don't whine, we don't complain, we don't make excuses, we get our head up and we stop whining. Listen, why would you partner with a person that constantly whines? Most people that do whine all the time, they don't even know they do it. They don't even know they whine all the time. Till you say, man, all you do is whine and complain, make excuses, moan about how this is not working. Create solutions. So how do you be a monster thinker? I really, after studying this for a number of years, I don't think you can force another person who don't have it to have it. Some people got something you can't put in them and you can't take it out of them. So here's what I want to do. Let's just go find those people. Let's go align ourselves with those people. People believe the same things we do. We're looking for them in our customers. We're looking for them in our staff. We're looking for them in everything. We're constantly looking for people that believe the same things we do. So how do you be a monster? Number one, absolutely no whining. Number two, become a person of power and action. The word power, a great definition of power, Jonathan Davis, is a means or source for supplying energy. A person of power is a means or source for supplying energy. Okay? That's how you become a monster. You're a power source, man. People are watching you. People are studying you. People are interested in you. People are trying to figure out how they can become similar to you. That's what they're looking at. Okay? So when you're thinking about this, we got absolutely no whining. That's number one, to be a monster. Number two, we got to become a person of action. Not talking about it, thinking about it, doing. And the third thing is we got to come back to this total ownership concept. Is if a person is not taking action with you, it's because you've done a very poor job of explaining your value. When you follow up, I want you to take total ownership. I'm not going to whine. Here's what a whiner would say. I called Trey, but I couldn't get in touch with him. Well, how hard did you try? Did you go one time? Did you go 5 times? Did you go 10 times? Well, I've been trying to get them on my schedule, but I can't get them on my schedule because they're so busy. Probably going to be a couple of weeks. That's what a whiner would say. A big-time monster thinker would never in a million years say that. They will find a way. They will make a way. They will do whatever it takes. So you got to make up your mind today as it relates to this concept of bounce back and getting your head up. And here's what I figured out. The more volume you do, the harder you push, the more opposition there's going to be. You're going to get opposition from your own people. You're going to get opposition from your friends. You're going to get opposition from your staff. You're going to get opposition from the market. If you don't want that opposition, then just play at a very low level. Play at a very low frequency. Just stay on a very local, small level, and you'll never have any opposition. But if you want to get to a much higher frequency, you want to figure out really how to get to that level, then you got to push harder and you got to eliminate all this low value activity. So just remember this. There's a high value of your time and there is a low value of your time. And a low value of your time is activity you're participating in every day that has got nothing to do with pushing you closer to your dominant aspiration. High value of your time, specific, intentional activity that moves you closer. Now, you show me one big person in the world that spends a lot of time complaining, making excuses, putting their head down, whining, feeling sorry for themselves. You show me one big-time person that does that. Because the big-time people I run around with, they never, ever participate in low-value activity like that. Guys, every single week I come to you with a new show and a new podcast. This is called Super Coach. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe everybody needs a good coach in their life because I believe a good coach will have these conversations with you that you don't want to have, that make you do some things you don't want to do. But a good coach should help you become something you didn't think you could become. So if you're watching my show weekly, you've been watching me for years, you know deep down in your heart that you need somebody in your life who's pushing you. You need to be part of a dynamic network of people. you need to check out Monster Producer. I'm trying to get 125 guests in the next 90 days in Monster. So if you want to come in September, email me info@coachburt.com. Would love for you to invite people. And this is the kind of coaching we're going to give you. We're going to be intense, but we're going to be positive. We're going to be intense, but we're going to be positive. And I want to give a shout out to Carrie Ann Sear. Carrie Ann Sear's in her 25K level. She's one of my closest clients, and she just crossed over $100 million of mortgage production. And man, that is freaking incredible. Let me tell you what, that woman don't whine. She gets her head up, and she gets her head up. She meets and greets. She promotes. She don't whine. She don't complain, and she don't make excuses. And that's what I love about those type of people that come in every day. Those are the type of people I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who get their head up, they don't whine, and they don't make excuses. They take total ownership of what it is they do. Every success they take ownership of, every failure they take ownership of. And when we get to that place, we're going to be operating at a very high frequency. Guys, I'm headed to Raleigh, North Carolina right now in just a few hours. We're kicking off Monster Raleigh tomorrow night. Can't wait to be with Amanda Williams, our certified coach. If you're in Raleigh, go to coachburt.com/Raleigh. I think there's 85 people that are registered for that. Amanda's done an incredible job getting people in the room. And I promise you, I ain't going all that way to disappoint them. So I'll see you tomorrow night in Raleigh, guys. Everybody needs a coach in life. Thank you for letting me be yours. Hey guys, Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. And one of the things I constantly say is, I don't believe in cotton candy. Too many people in the world today want a quick fix. They want a quick hit. They want to turn their life around in a month. They want to make some money in 3 or 4 days. Listen, you don't need to come to me if that's what your thinking is. There is no get rich quick theme. There is no come out of the gates in 2 or 3 days, turn this whole thing around. I believe in one thing, guys. I believe in a long obedience in the same direction. You know, I started my coaching career really at 6 years old when Mickey Vinson, that Little League baseball coach, said, son, one of these days you're going to be a great coach. I formalized it at 15 coaching junior pro. I was at Riverdale High School at 19. I was the head coach for a decade. At 31, I retired to start this business. I'm in the 11th year of running this coaching business. Listen, 10,000 hours of practice. But how many years of a long obedience in the same direction, of studying human behavior, the psychology of how people win, don't win? Here's what I would tell you. We live in such a society today that people want that cotton candy. They want to come and be entertained versus education. You need to flip the script. You need 9 minutes of education for every 1 minute of entertainment. You need to get in the business of taking what you're learning and applying it day after day after day with a rhythm and a discipline and a cadence. There is no get rich quick theme. You get rich for sure when you stay focused and you push the ball down the field and you quit living in cotton candy land and get into mastery. I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. When you going to let me coach you? Go to monsterproducer.com, go to coachburt.com. Show up, grow up, and let's deliver.